What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another comic video. As you saw the last time, starting this series about keys and specs for upcoming shows, movies, and whatnot. This one is going to focus on Peacemaker, the HBO Max show that was previewed. I guess they gave us a teaser trailer on from Fandom. There's a lot of hype around it because Peacemaker was well received in Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad was well reviewed. John Cena was definitely well received. And of course, we have James Gunn as the director for this 8-episode series that's, I think, going to premiere in January sometime. So we're going to look at 5 keys and specs here. There are more, but there are also few in terms of data and trying to find sales for it, because Peacemaker is kind of an oddball character, which fits right up James Gunn's alley, and there are just not that many keys right now, but I guess there will be more if it does well and it's going to have a second season, or he's going to appear in the next Suicide Squad or whatnot. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. All right, this first book, as you know, I start with kind of like a low entry key. This is the Peacemaker #1. It's a limited series from 1987. Like I said, there's very few that are keys and specs, but this one I found to be, obviously very affordable. As you can see, the raw FMV is $12, and the last CGC 9.8 that was sold was on August 26th for $260. Now that's pretty high for a book that's, a modern book that's kind of didn't really go anywhere, but the spec and the hype got really built up really quick behind this as soon as they announced that Peacemaker was going to have a spin-off series. And you can see here only 19 blue labels on the CGC census, which means the price is more or less on par with what it should be, because maybe it should be even more, because there's only 19 out there because not many people got these graded to begin with. But as you can see, what I noted here was many more will be graded because it's easy to acquire. There's a lot of these are in the dollar bins. I know I found a couple of them at my local store. He just had it for cover price because he didn't even know about this. But of course it was beat up. But there will be quite a bit more of this coming out. So I figure that the number will go down for this. The price will drop a little bit. It'll probably be around the $200 mark, maybe a little less, depends on how well the show is received and how many come back 9.8s. But for a book like this, if you're gonna get it, I would definitely get 9.8, nothing below, because this is a limited series only, and a lot of the times the ongoing series is what people want. So moving on, we have New Teen Titans Annual #2, and this was from 1983, and it's the first appearance of Vigilante. You can see the raw FMV here is $26, and as you can see here, I have my 2 copies that I got CGC 9.8 graded. I got these basically as soon as there was any notification that there was or any spoiler, any leak, or anything that Vigilante was going to be in this. So I got these for under $200. And you can see as of October 16th, a 9.8 goes for about $225. I suspect this will go much higher because there's only 243 in the blue label. This hype, around this series is really good. And the character is basically, if you watch a trailer, he's kind of like a Deadpool, because he's like a mercenary, assassin, spy, whatever. But he has these wisecrack jokes, and he's kind of like, seems like he's kind of loony, but he's also looks like, from what I can tell, partner or sidekick to Peacemaker on the show. But the costume is very comic accurate. It looks just like this, and that's what a lot of people like. And you can see here, Vigilante is on the cover. It just looks, Adrian Chase is the character here. It would be really cool if they touched into Checkmate, because Adrian Chase is a Checkmate character, and I believe Amanda Waller is at some point, so it would be cool to if they explore Checkmate. And as you see on October 10th, there was a CGC 9.6 for $90. You know, as the show gets closer, this will probably get to the $100 mark, maybe a little bit more for a 9.6. But this is another one of those kind of easy to acquire. You look at the FMV is only $26. You could probably get it for even less. But if you get these graded, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot more coming back. But you should be able to get these in 9.8s. I've gotten a couple more, like really high grade. I think they're gonna be 9.8s when they come back. But you never know, it could be 9.6. But if this character is well received, who knows? You might see a spin-off from here. He might appear in other things. Like I said, it would be cool if they explore Checkmate at some point. But okay, moving on to the third book. Now we're getting to like these last three are pretty high end because they're old and they're just hard to even find. So this next one you see here is Special War Series number 4. It's not number 1. It should be number 4. It's from 1965 and it's the first appearance of Judo Master. This is the main antagonist on the show, or one of the main antagonists. You can see his costume looks a little bit different. It's gray, not yellow and red. There are no graded sales, but there's the raw FMVs are about $114. But that was what was sold. But now, if you look at anything that's listed, if it's from a VG up, it's going to be around $400 or more. I've seen, and these are asking prices, so it doesn't mean it's going to sell. But I don't see anything listed that's below $400 currently, and they're ranging from very good to fine. So I think, and then there's a couple of them that are like VF, very fine, and they're asking like almost $1,000. So I think they're basically pricing themselves out of getting a sale, because I don't know if it'll go that high, because this is the kind of character that's maybe a one-off, kind of like how Death Dealer was in Shang-Chi, or any of those other movies where they just need to have like a character in the lore or something to go up against, and then they kind of like they're expendable. Maybe I'm wrong. Judo Master could persist, but this is definitely a James Gunn type of character, because this is pulled out of nowhere, because this character doesn't have any kind of history around it as well. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it is. I think the fight scenes are going to be nice, because this is Judo Master, so it's probably going to be a lot of martial arts battles with Vigilante and or Peacemaker. So now the second one, you can see they're starting to go up here, and this is the I have a couple of these. They're getting graded right now, and this is Peacemaker number 1 from 1966. It's the first ongoing series, and it is very important to note that this is the Charlton Comics version, not the reprint that they did in 1978. It looks exactly the same. It's just on the top left corner it says Modern Comics, I believe, instead of that Charlton logo there with the 12 cents. But raw FMV right now, I think it's kind of high. It's $511, because maybe there are people uncovering some high grade comics and they're listing them, and that's what's bumping the FMV up. But I definitely got both mine for $200 and less, and they're probably very fine. One is probably very fine, the other one's fine. But you could see here, October 17th, CGC 9.0 sold for $1,600. That's pretty good. And October 17th, and then October 16th, CGC 5.5 sold for $450. So, if you're able to acquire these at that grade for $200 or less, and you get them back 5.0 or 6, you're already doing pretty well. And this, I think, aside from his first appearance, will be the key to get, because the other one's going to be too expensive. So this is the next best thing, and he's on the cover, and it's a Silver Age book, and it's an ongoing series number 1. It's not quite the same, but the comparison would be Amazing Fantasy 15 and then Amazing Spider-Man number 1. Although Amazing Fantasy 15 is the one that everybody you want, because it's first Spider-Man. But the first ongoing series and the number 1 issue is ASM number 1, and that's highly sought after. So same thing here with Peacemaker. I think this is the one, because when you'll see this next one, it's just going to be a little too high and also very hard to get. So the number one spec or key that you want to get, as you can see here, is Fightin' 5 number 40 from the same year, 1966, and it's the first appearance of Peacemaker. The raw FMV is $280, if you can even find one. There aren't very many out there that are even listed, and if they are, they're going to be asking $400, $500, $600. I think the lowest I've seen, and I just missed out on it, it was an auction. It ended just under $300, and I thought it was maybe a 5.5 or higher. But as you can see here, you're getting it for under $300, and it's a 5.0 or higher. It's definitely going to be a lot more, because you can see where the numbers are here. Real quick, on September 5th, a CGC 8.5 sold for $2,640. That's an 8.5 is really high. I think that 2640 is pretty cheap, considering that Peacemaker will probably be a well-received show, and that's only going to go up, I think. On September 2nd, there was a CGC 6.0 that was sold for $900. That's easily going to be $1,000. And then on September 27th, a CGC 3.0 sold for $405. You can see here that there are no sales in October, which is very, that is significant, because that means either people are holding on to it, or there just aren't very many out there that are graded. And then on top of that, people are, like I said, people are holding on to it because they're waiting for the show to get closer, and then they're gonna, offload it probably week 1. But if you can find them out here, I don't see anything below like $1,000, to be honest. I think I saw something below a 5.0 that was asking for $800 or $900, but all the ones you're gonna see mid grades are gonna be over $1,000 right now. I don't know if that'll stay, but if the show does well, I think that's going to be a deal, because if Peacemaker is going to last for a while, then getting a mid-grade for $1,000 is probably pretty good. And also remember, this is a Silver Age book, so it is old, hard to get, and high grade. So getting it mid-grade is pretty good. All right, well, that's it for this edition of the Keys and Specs, and let's hope that the show does well, because I really enjoyed Suicide Squad. I love John Cena. He is perfect actor for a role like this, because you can see he could do all the physical aspects of it, and he's also very funny. So, all right, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe if you like seeing this type of content. There'll be more coming. I'll be doing one on Hawkeye. And then She-Hulk, and then as it gets closer, we'll do more. But until next time, thanks. See ya.